Hello, and welcome, my Virgo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your work, career, vocation read for June, July 2021. I'm your reader, Angelo, Lyons. Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Production since 1998. Virgo Sun sign that I am, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo, Lyons. But you can call me Mal, Virgo Power. Hey, my Virgs, let's get down into this reading. It is a work, career, vocation reading, also called for me a 3 levels of power reading. There's a link in the description box explaining what the 3 levels of power and way more depth than I can do every single time I do one of these readings. By Carolyn Myss, M-Y-S. She is my favorite. Well, I'll say she's my favorite female teacher. Right now, Matt Kahn is my favorite male teacher because, you know, we all need people to show us what we can't see, right? We haven't studied, they do, and then they teach it, and it's lovely. So check out that link. It's part 1 of, I think, maybe a 3-part video series. It's not terribly long, but it'll explain 3 levels of power. The best way I can explain it, I learned from her. Eau de toilette, cologne, perfume, right? Perfume is the full-on dealio. Cologne's cut with alcohol, eau de toilette with water. So it's all the same substance, but 3 levels of intensity, if you will. Work being your lower 3 chakras, right? How you navigate the world. That's survival intuition, right? Like on the ground kind of stuff. And earth signs are really good at that. The personal level of power, which is your mental, emotional power, your creative intuition, right? Like, and you use it all day long. You don't realize how much of an alchemical process it is of creativity, right? Like, what are you going to do for dinner later? Well, until you choose, right? Until you go, that's what we're doing, right? And then you bring it down into the lower 3 chakras and make it so. And then our 3rd level of power here, the symbolic. So it's literal, the personal, and the symbolic. This is the home of the archetypes, the 8th chakra. It's your visionary intuition, which is not Phoebe Halliwell. Trust me, that's really more survival intuition. I guess third eye too. Oh, honey, I am the sun and the air, with the hair. So, yeah, I'm a little bit of the brick girl today. I'm not apologizing for it. I kind of like it. It's not my usual Dionysian style, but yeah. It's really humid here in New York. So yeah, we're using 4 decks, 3 cards each, 12 cards, Carolyn Myss archetype deck to represent the 8th chakra of your work, career, and your vocation. Daughters of the Moon to represent the heart, throat, 3rd eye crown, the interior world, what your interior experiences is in each. The Mythic Tarot for those lower 3 chakras, root, sacrum, solar plexus, either some aspect of the physical work, career, vocation you're dealing with, or how you appear from the outside looking in. And new to these spreads, because I've done these a couple of times before, we are using the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck, 3 of those as well, to get you mantras to work in your career and vocation. Good. That's it. Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. All the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box with lots of linky poos down there for your entertainment and education for the well-being of all. Now, please, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I was born to give. Talk about bringing all of it into alignment. That's the tea, right? How do you get what's in the 8th chakra all the way down and through into the earth plane of the root chakra? Alignment, healing, and learning what your soul came in to learn, because you are the soul, not the personality. So let's do this. Here we go. They're just giving me the live stream, my guides today. So let's just start bringing this into form. Breathe. Yeah, they're telling me sit back. My lower back is kicking today, so I'm really trying to give myself that support, because the work I do, not just here, please, this is maybe 50% of my work day. It's really important that we support ourselves, and I know lower back is that Virgo area. We're ruled by the intestines, or we rule the intestines. I forget which is which. So I call upon my pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, God's ascended masters of life purpose through work, career, and vocation, and the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, for this Virgo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading. Please, 3 cards, 1 for work, 1 career, 1 for vocation. What are the dominant archetypes, or same thing really, the soul powers of being strengthened and developed for this Virgo collective? We got that in work. We've got that in career. And we've got that in vote. Sticky cards. Yeah, it's very humid here today. So I'm going to be doing that a couple of times all day long. In their 8th chakra, visionary intuition, their vocation, their spiritual calling. That's another Tuesday. Okay. So usually when that happens more than once, that's my sign of saying, this is changing. It's in the process maybe of passing batons, right? So to speak, from one archetypal pattern to another. So please, just the one that is the most important for them. There it is, right? The one that serves. Because remember, we're the servants of the zodiac, but if we don't serve the fucking servant archetype, you heard me say it before we flipped the card, and we are the servant. The visionary archetype. This is my read. This is my read. I serve the world. I tell people I didn't incarnate for you. I incarnated for everybody. Visionary archetype sucks. Sucks being a visionary. But this is the one that just nails that one. The divine child archetype. This has been popping up again and again and again. I just want to see who else had it. Okay, Taurus had it in the career. I know I saw it somewhere else. I know somebody else had it. Where are you? Networker, Hermit, Avenger. Divine child, Leo had it in the vocation. So that I'm Leo rising. Oh my God, it. Wow. All right, let me read you these right now. So well, none of these sound horrible necessarily. I guess it depends on your relationship to servants. I'm a servant of the divine, first and foremost. Everybody else got to pay. The shadow attribute may sound horrible, but that's how bright the light is, and vice versa, right? Like, so the visionary, the shadow side sucks. The shadow attribute, using lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. I see people do this all the time. I'm not allowed to do that because my faith ultimately, even stuff that goes on in the physical world, is about the divine plan, right? It's about the quantum hologram. This is a game. I'm a soul. I'm an eternal being, just like everybody else, by the way. Even aminals and trees and plants, right? We're all one eternal energy that comes into form in order to grow and develop, like going to the gym. And unfortunately, lately it has been feeling like going to the gym on this planet, psychically speaking. But they tell me it's more like an amusement park, right? And the soul, the truth of I am, is on the Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short ride this time around. Not that it's a short ride. I'm 52. The light attribute, delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. Praise the gods. Hallelujah. That's me. That's me. And that's why I refuse to be too stuffy on my channel. I love this work. Seriousness can very much be the ego control, and the ego is not evil. It's the most dormant part of the soul that is unraveling, right? It's a lot. Matt Kahn, we'll get to his deck there. So this makes a lot of sense. So whatever you're doing, I don't get paid for being the president of Drawing the Circle Productions. It's all the grunt work, to be honest with you, all the paperwork and, all of that. You could say, my career is really about seeing what other people can't see, and we'll get there, working with clients, spiritual counseling, spiritual teaching. But I'm a mystic in my vocation overall. So whatever it is, just serve on the physical and keep an eye on that when you go, I would love to do that. I would love to move on, but the money. Understand that may be true in the physical world. Obviously, it may be. There's lots of things I would love to do if I had an extra just 10 grand in the bank, right? In the company. But I don't have it like that right now. I will. I'm getting the shot in the arm this weekend up in Saratoga. I'll be out in the world again for sure. But to understand that any lack of money that's going on in your life does serve in its own way. I think Matt Kahn talked about Louisiana and the bayou, and how artists, when they're not given every possible thing that they could do to manifest their thing, right? They're digging up mud bugs, right? And delish, right? I love Cajun food. I don't like it so spicy that my eyes melt. I have contact lenses in there. They ain't cheap. So whatever it is that you're serving, keep an eye on that, right? Like, think of that as that, like, the little MTV logo in the corner of your mind saying, yeah, there it is. There it is. I'm using that as an excuse not to move forward with life. But that doesn't necessarily mean you need the money to do that in that particular way. The visionary. Now, talk about a creative family archetype. By the way, servant is the healing family of archetypes, and there are only 5 or 6 of them in that family. Healing family archetype, creative family archetype in the creative intuition here. The shadow attribute, selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. And I see that happening on YouTube every day. Every day. I can't watch a lot of readers. It's more my issue than theirs, because they're just code wording and cranking it out. I'm like, I can feel your energy just through the floaty hands thing. It's like, I understand. You're trying to make money. You're trying to serve. You're trying to work. But the energy feels flatline. I mean, what they're saying might very well be accurate, but it's purely intellectual read. Not everybody, obviously. And I'm like, I can't do that. I have this fucker in spades. Here's the part, the light attribute. You'll hear it. It sucks. Even the light sucks on this one. Capacity to envision what is not conceivable to others. My whole life. I'm like, but it can be, and then later they think it's their idea. Right? No wonder we're willing to sell it to the highest bidder. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. It's very power 3. It's very charmed. Oh, honey, if we can't serve ourselves, how the hell are you going to serve anybody else? Gonna get it? Thank you, Saint RuPaul of the Drag Race. So yeah, your visionary, this very third eye, seeing it. But you know, some people think visionary means that you see apparitions. No thanks. Swipe left. Hard pass. No. My guides and all of them know if they show up with my eyes open, I'm calling a good therapist or 911. Someone's broken in. And my cats. Except if they're angels with wings, then they really have to be careful. I have cats. So it's not that kind of visionary. It's sort of like you get downloads. And if you're getting them before other people, understand that it's all in service to something. But wait till you hear this one. This is going to knock you on your root chakra from your 8th chakra. The divine child archetype is part of the survival family archetype. And the child, the victim / victor, the empowerer / saboteur, and the prostitute, the golden prostitute and the lead prostitute, are the 4 survival archetypes that everybody has. And, you know, the prostitute, everybody like wrinkles their nose at that one, but it's about compromising your spirit for comfort. Right? Not listening to the truth of who you are. Because it's easier this way, let's not rock the boat, and you can figure out the rest. Not everyone has the divine child archetype. Everyone is a divine child, interestingly enough. But to incarnate with that is a different path from jump, right? Survival archetypes you have since birth. So the child archetype, dominant, right? The sort of the major arcana, if you will, of the child archetype is always about safety and innocence. When a child feels safe, it's up for everything. Ooh, the unknown, let's jump. New beginnings, right? That innocence to kind of jump into stuff like the Fool card in that way. But if the child doesn't feel safe, it's not up for anything, right? You can take them to an amusement park and, you know, get them everything they want. And if they're scared or in a snit or whatever, which is always about fear anyway, unresolved pain, unresolved fear, it's a nightmare, right? So the divine child archetype in the lead and gold, the shadow attribute, an inability to defend oneself against negative forces, and I'd say both inner and outer. I was bullied as a kid. Obviously, I was gay since birth. I dated girls because it was the 80s. Wait till that book comes out. Ooh, I got some stories to tell there about the girlfriends I've had. Still friends with a lot of them. They are the Haggoth to my faggoth. But I mean, at night, the night terrors that came, that now I look back and I go, oh no, those are spirit guides. It's like, oh, you weren't trying to murder me in my sleep. Those were visitations. I used to pray every night to make them go away, and now I get why they did it, right? It was like, we're not trying to scare you, but the light is going to bring up your shadow. God, this is such a huge download. If any of you have ever experienced this, please comment. Because I had to learn how to pray. I was raised Catholic, so I could crank out the rosary by like age 8. My dad was wicked. Oh, today's my father's birthday. June 14th, Flag Day. Same as Donald Trump. I win the Dad Toxicity Award. So the shadow attribute and inability to defend oneself against negative forces, including members of my own family who didn't get me. I mean, I was called faggot from like jump, pretty much. And bullied at school and all of that. So I turned to witchcraft. The light attribute, you'll love this. Innocence, purity, and redemption. So not only are we learning how to redeem ourselves, we're redeeming other people by exactly what I just did. Is that why you showed me that? To redeem, to pull the value out of that experience of night terrors, whatever you want to call it, suggests a special connection with the divine in every day, every morning, sometimes a million times a day. I make a prayer now to the mother of all. Source. I can't call it source because I watched Charmed, right? Just can't go there, right? The mother of all, before the Tao, there was her. So she is every thought, every feeling, everything that's ever been, all at once, right? Just my way of doing it. So that's my way of communicating with her from that innocence of my heart, which of course gives me visionary downloads that I can serve with. I mean, here it is. We can stop the reading, but we're not gonna. Because we like the deeds, don't we? Detail-oriented much, Virgo? Well, let's find out. Do you know our tangible element is sand? Look how much you could do with sand. Like, it's a filter, you can sandpaper, refine things. But if you look at sand under, I don't know if you need an electron microscope. It's not like I have one handy. But there are no 2 grains of sand exactly the same. But that's what we like. We like the variety and the detail in the micro. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon my beloved goddesses of Earth in the sign of Virgo, my lovely, lovely, lovely goddesses, please, using the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, can you give us the heart, throat, third eye, crown dynamic, the divine feminine aspect of the Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video and receiving this reading in their work, career, vocation, what's going on. We'll do these face down like always. That servant archetype in their work, what's going on there. The visionary archetype in their career. And this card is always going to be very dominant for the center because it's heart, third eye, crown. Just like the archetype card is for the 8th chakra. It's what's called a holographic reading. You can bounce back and forth and make little links and connections all the way through. So please, you guys are like giving me a steady stream of clairvoyance and clairaudience here. What's going on? Heart, throat, third eye, crown with that child, because that's going to show us how where you are on that fear to love schedule, how that scale, how that child feels, right? So let's look. 1, 2, 3. Well, this do make sense. I have to cross my legs for this one. I'll uncross them when I pull the next 3 cards. 2 of Flames in this deck, Daughters of the Moon, is Mahueha. I think Polynesian goddess of fire, right? So it's their creativity. It's like, I got all this in my hands, I just don't know what I want to do. So people, forever have made the 2 of Blades, the 2 of Swords, about indecision. It's not, is that so mental? This is about the element of fire, what you want. Your throat chakra, you don't know what to do. Well, I want it, but I don't. But do I want to do that, or do I want to do that? And that every day is a winding road. We get a little bit closer. The crow is one of my spirit animals, the Cheryl Crow. So when I hear a song of hers out of nowhere, I'm like, whoa, hello. And I had a murder of crows circling my house a couple of weeks ago. It was very Secret Circle season 1. So this might be like, do I serve me? Do I serve them? Am I burning out? I don't know. Do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? But this is only a 2. I'm going to say it may seem major, What's going on, heart, third eye crown right now? It could be, darling, you have to let me know. Should I stay or should I go? That kind of thing. We'll see. But level of choice, level of consequence. It's only a 2. It's not the Lover's card, right? It's not major life changing, but it may be just you navigating, not sure exactly what you want, right? For the Visionary, 5 of Cups. Now look, 5 of Cups is the storm in this deck, so we're looking at emotional disruption. If you are an empath, and I don't mean the sociological type of empath, I mean intuitive empath, meaning that you feel other people's emotions and energies in your own cell tissue. Bam! That's my definition of what an empath really is, and I am Virgo Sun, but I was born on a full moon, so I got a Pisces moon. That is my... It allows me to, I guess, read thousands of people at once in a collective reading and feel it, right? So if that is true, if you know that about yourself, or maybe you don't, but you're beginning to realize, oh my God, I might be an intuitive empath, then yeah, the 5 of Cups, there is a storm blowing through. And that can certainly change the game in terms of, well, I used to know what I wanted to do, but I don't know. And it's not that thing of options. It's really like, do I pull the trigger or not here in terms of my service? And understand that once the storm passes, the skies are clear. So your visions might be more through a lens darkly. Hey, Jay. Isha J. Right? Through a lens darkly. Slow down, and you'll see why in the next card. Right? We'll refer back to those, because with this Divine Child, you've got the Hermit card, our card, the Virgo energy. So this is really about being authentic. Do the inner child work, right? Do the prayer. Go to your higher power, the X variable of spirit. I call it the mother of all, but you know, I also call it Zeus and Hera and Dionysus and Aphrodite and Hermes. And they've literally got my back back there. Well, they're statues, you know. I don't worship. I don't idol worship, not even American Idol worship. So this is the Kaliach, Skaliach, right? Riding a gray horse in the sky, as hermits always are, elevated above what looks like Stonehenge. So right now, this is your only major arcana card on the table in terms of your heart, third eye crown. Further in, deeper in, further up, higher up, whatever C.S. Lewis said in that last book of the Narnia series. God, this is really about you taking care of you. And I think any emotional stress that might be yours or somebody else's, and usually it's a blend. You know, if you've ever experienced loss, like who hasn't? And maybe you have some unfinished business around past loss, who doesn't? And then someone close to you, or even someone on TV or whatever, you know, you see that loss, it just triggers you, like, why am I crying so hard? Part of it can be empathy, part of it can be your unresolved stuff, but usually it's all of that and a side of fries. So let this storm pass through you. It is going to clear your vision. Until it does, don't dumb down your stuff. I'd keep your yap shut, and that's not easy if you're Mars conjunct Leo rising, because Mars is going through Leo right now. So this is key. This is your leverage. I can always tell where the leverage is. This may change, but I gotta say, yeah, it feels like your dominant leverage here. Get into your 8th chakra. You don't have to ayahuasca it. Easier ways. Try the Wim Hof method. I do it several times a day. Ooh, I got such a buzz. Organic free buzz. WIMHOFF. I love him. I know. Such a divine masculine. Please take a nice deep breath. Woof. Speaking of my beloved gods of earth and the sign of Virgo, Dionysus, sacred vine, dearest Lord, patron mine. Draw me closer into thee, enter gently into me, Lord of passion, God of wine, fill me with thy light divine. Fill me now so all may see thy gift of sacred ecstasy for the well-being of all and with harm to none. As I will it, so let it be done. I need 3 cards in clarity representing the root, sacrum, and solar plexus for the Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Watching this video, receiving this reading in their work, career, vocation. We've got the servant archetype with the 2 of flames, and I can feel that. I want to serve. I don't know if I want to serve this way or I want to serve that way. If I walk away, is that serving? You're going to find that no matter what you do, the gods can use it. The gods, the angels, higher powers, whatever you call them. You know, there is only one light. That's true. But infinite number of lenses that we can look at that through. And what's it like to stare directly at the sun? Right? No, we're allowed our lenses and we evolve them and they evolve us, right? And it's totally mutual. So what does this look like from the outside looking in, or some aspect of the physical? For the servant with the 2 of flames, and I get that tug of war. Like, my parents really want me to move to Saratoga, and I really want to move to Saratoga, but I love my house here in Holbrook, New York. So just like, where do I want to serve? Because now, I mean, when I was connected to the Silver Broom Ministries, thank God I'm out of that mess, I can take clients from around the world, and I have been. That's why I haven't been putting out so many videos, and I'm bringing more collaborators on, so I can feel that, right? So visionary archetype, and this is key, because we're not going to see things so clearly maybe for June, July, unless we do the emotional work, allowing these emotions to pour through us, clear the skies, water the grounds. Please, what does this look like on the outer, my Dion? And with the divine child, which Dionysus is, man, he's 1/4 mortal from his mother, the Princess Semele, I've heard it's said different ways. Please, divine child with the hermit archetype, what does that look like on the outer? Please, just 1 card in my hand. Thank you. Let's look at this. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, 2 10s and a queen. 10s across the board. Oh, Saint RuPaul of the Drag Race, Scorpio, queen of it all. And here's the Queen of Cups, the Scorpio card. So, look. You got the servant archetype here, right, with this indecision. And what's in front of you is the 10 of Cups, right? I don't know that this is you from the outside looking in. For some of you, it might be. So it's either or. It could be both, I guess. But you're being given an opportunity that is very emotionally fulfilling. I mean, the 10 of Cups is always associated with like the true love and marriage, and maybe that's true. Maybe some of you are really making a choice about what you want to do. Right? How can I serve while this is going on? Now look, I don't get a bad vibe off of this at all. And if we can please for 5 seconds take it out of sex and romance, love and marriage don't always go together like a horse and carriage. Thanks, Ed Bundy. Frank Sinatra, really. My feeling is there's something incredibly emotionally fulfilling in what you do, right? And I'm looking at this delight in serving others with a free and loving heart, but figuring out how, right? Like, emotional satisfaction is wonderful when you love what you do. And it might be that you might have the opportunity to do something you truly love. This is my true love card. Well, in the minor arcana, right? This might be, but it's like, but do I do that? Because I get it now. Oh boy. Oh, do I get it now? Because the Scorpio card, this is Helen of Troy, face that launched 1,000 ships. There were more than 1,000. I was there. With that 5 of Cups, you are keeping your mouth shut. This is you. It's the Scorpio card. Okay, maybe you've got planets in Scorpio, maybe you don't. But it is being quiet. It's a Scorpio is 8th house energy. It's hidden forces. It's money, sex, and power. Other people's resources, right? Deep intuitive thing here. And you've got this, oh no, all is well. All is well. While inside, you've got a storm brewing. So you may not right now see this 10 of Cups in front of you. And again, this is a 2-month read. Work, career, vocation stuff usually goes slower. than we would like it to, particularly after the past year, which is why I started doing these reads, according to them. So yeah, there's some deep emotions here that you need to reconcile within yourself, because you're not seeing clearly, most likely, but you will, because this will pass. This will pass, and you will see, right, visionary, see your way through, and things that others can't even conceive of, which sucks. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself right now. Play your tarot cards close to your chest. Ooh, I've been working out. I gotta do yoga. My lower back kills me every morning when I wake up. You got the Ten of Wands, though. I know everybody says burden, 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 burden. I don't get this. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. What I'm seeing is that this Two of Flames here on the inner, on the outer, will present itself to you, but as a result of you really doing the hermit work, the Virgo work, the healing work, the getting up into the stratosphere, into the 8th chakra. She's hovering, she's literally riding a horse in the night sky. Ah, Kaliak! With the Ten of Wands on the outer, that you might very well be having a vision of how this is all going to play out as an end scene, and no one's going to understand it. No one's going to get it. But are you going to compromise your vision to make it more acceptable? What a challenge. You know, live free or die. My version of that is authenticity or death. With what we're going through on planet Earth, the rising of the divine feminine tide to balance the toxicity of the divine masculine. Not that they're all toxic. We all have masculine energy. But like, you know, trans lives matter and black lives matter. It's like we're moving into unity consciousness. So yeah, you might ruffle some feathers being authentic, but that doesn't mean you have to spill your guts all the time. Hang in there. Hang in there, because it's this divine child. This child feels safe. It's interesting. You got the child and the elder, the crone of the maiden mother crone in this deck. And yeah, you've already got the golden fleece. This is Jason and the Argonauts got the golden fleece, but by the time they get back to drop it off, the Argo is in pieces, the boat is in pieces, and they're exhausted. Of course they are. But then the myth continues. You're going to complete this cycle of fire, but the guidance is right in front of you, but you need to see it from this higher 8th chakra place. By what? Being a visionary and keeping your mouth shut. Look, there are plenty of times my gods will say, look, we're going to tell you how it's going to go down, and you're not going to understand what we're saying now, but you will later, and it's always that way. So that's why even saying to people, right, this is what I see, this is what I see, when it's personal, oh, I can read someone I don't know for filth. But myself, tricky, which is why I watch other readers. Steve's Love Tarot. He is cracking me up in that accent. I have a thing for Southern men. Right? Who else do I watch? Votre Voyage, Scorched Earth. I love her. I don't know if she drinks, but I want to have a cocktail with her someday. I love her. Right? It's hard to read yourself, but this divine child, this is your leverage. Right? Did I say this was your leverage? This is your leverage. So far. Let's see. Let's get these last 3 down. This is a good read. Like, none of this is horrible. I mean, the only tricky stuff here, because I don't really see the Ten of Wands as a card of burden. Well, look. Forgive me, Southern Strega. I'm an art reader. I'm an artist, right? And Steve's Love Tarot, forgive me. I read energy, too. Pisces, man. I think he's a Cancer, he said. Got a bunch of them I watch. Let's just get the healing mantra here. Matt Kahn healing mantra deck has been such a lifesaver for me. A big grape lifesaver. I adore him. Carolyn Myss is my favorite female teacher. He is my favorite male teacher. And it's funny because she's such that divine masculine mind genius, and he's so that all-loving heart, right? That divine feminine heart. I like it like that. Ooh, baby. I like it like that. Carolyn Myss is the only person on planet Earth who intimidates me. And Chrissy Hynde of the Pretenders, because I'm sure she'd cut a bitch. Breathe. You come for the info, you stay for the humor and the endless Generation X references, please. Oh, my ascended masters, right, of life, purpose, work, career, vocation, service, please. What are the 3 healing mantras? I'm not going to read it from the bookie book. These readings are long enough. What do you got for the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? I'm watching this video, receiving this reading. I'll do my best not to look at the cards, so I don't know what they are until we flip them. Please, what do you got for them with the servant archetype, with the 2 of flames on the inner, sort of that. They got the power, they just don't know particularly what's going on in the career there with that storm, exactly what to do. The visionary eyes are a little cloudy, a little moist. What's the perfect healing mantra for them with that 10 of cups on the outer? Don't look. In their career, the visionary with the 5 of cups, definitely a storm brewing. But with that Queen of Cups on the outer, the guidance really is be a Scorpio about this. Right? Feel it deeply, but don't let on, right? Don't share right now your stuff. You will find, oh, and that could be, you've got this vision thing. Well, do I say it? Do I don't say it? But you're seeing it as such an emotional, magical love thing. So please, what's their perfect healing mantra in their career and in their vocation, that divine child with the hermit? It's sort of like grandma taking care of the baby, right? Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Grandma's gonna get you a mock, yeah, king. Yeah, I was raised on Carly Simon and James Taylor. Sorry, not sorry. 10 of Wands on the outer, and I get now how that could be a burden, right? For that child to just maybe be overwhelmed by the passion of this, because the 10 of Wands in the 8th chakra manifesting as a 10 of Cups in the root chakra, if you want, the outside world. What's their perfect healing mantra for that? Here we go. Oh. Discovering happiness, inspiring others, and soothing impatience. Work. I'm not going to thwarp the fan. I wish they would make those fans out of maple so they could be a maple thwarp. Only certain people are going to get that. Discovering happiness. I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. You don't have to do anything unless inspired. And your inspirational, creative intuition, all the intuition. Just Trixie Mattel does from Sweden. That the service you want to do, you don't have to pull the trigger yet. Be content where you are. I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. And that might very well be about your own authenticity, right? You got to be good with you. This service must then be service to yourself as well. Has to be. And keeping your mouth shut serves. Now, if someone asks you a question outright that you're not ready to talk about, and you say, sorry, I'm not ready to talk about that right now, and they keep at you, they're a vampire. Because throat chakra is choice and decision, and you get to choose whether you spit it out, swallow it, or chew on it. So I need to chew on this. I'm not ready to talk about that. Virgo, cross your legs, because they do love virgin blood. Virgin blood just means blood that hasn't been used for a magical practice already. Here we are, looking for virgins. I'm on Long Island, and there aren't any. It's a terrible mark. Yes, inspiring others. Yeah, this is your jam. Are you inspired, though, or are you dealing with this emotional storm that has, through a lens darkly? I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. That you can do. That you can do, right? Acknowledge other people's gifts. I do. My college roommate Lillian from Boston Conservatory lived in a studio apartment on the Fenway. People say, what's a Fenway? I go, about 10 pounds. Such a dumb joke. Very Beantown, though. And brilliant choreographer, filmmaker. Her Film Woman, which I am the only YouTube channel that has it. You just put Lillian Carter, like Jimmy Carter's mother, but not. It's been funny going to college with her. Definitely been a different deal. She's winning awards all over the world. She just won in Hong Kong for like best experimental film, right? So whenever I talk to her, I'm just like, girl, you kick ass. Of all of our friends, she's the one who really went for it, right? Conservatory. So I call her out on that stuff. It's too easy as a visionary to call out on people what's wrong. Can you call out what's right? It's a good way. It's very Helena Troy. Just sit on your throne, Queen of Cups, right? Scorpio vibe. And just say, well, I really, really love how you do this. I really, really love. So if people are asking you to like spill your guts and you're not ready, just be like, you know, I want to empower you by acknowledging your gifts. You know, and spiritual gifts are to be given away. That's the point. The more you give away your spiritual gift, the more you have. Maybe that's done in prayer as well for some of you. If you're not ready to confront people until those emotions pass through. And that's going to bring out the love from within you and navigate you through that storm. With the divine child, with the hermit and the ten of wands, there are some blocks in your way. There's nothing to do but wait. No. My mother, my grandmother, our ancestors, there's nothing to do but wait. Why? Because everything's in divine timing. But if that child feels attacked, right? If this child feels overwhelmed, right? An inability to defend oneself against negative forces, or maybe even just perceiving the blocks in the road not as opportunities to rest and to reconsider, which is definitely what feels like going on here. It could be that all right, we're going medical intuitive here. It's ain't for everybody, but bear with me. If you're dealing with cranial pain, let's just say headaches, cranial pain, how pedantic. Your nervous system may very well be inflamed, and so it's not that you've lost your ability, but you need to self-heal, or at least you need to go to the gods as an innocent child, but allowing that hermit to really show you you're not in control of this. Nobody is. There is divine timing in play. Now, yes, they could have thrown the Wheel of Fortune there, but they didn't. Because this is more about you going further in and higher up within yourself and soothing your impatience like an impatient child. Because we all have inner children, but this isn't just the child of your heart, the inner child that remembers every slight, every bruise, every wound, right? Until it heals and learns as a result. We're talking the divine child, right? Innocence, purity, and redemption. So what needs to be redeemed here? I think you're going to find out the rest of June and all of July 2021. So let me put it together for you, please. My collective pantheons. There you are. Of the divine, please. May the Virgo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading, be blessed with all that they need in their work, career, vocation, that they can really develop the soul power of the servants that we all truly are, finding that delight and serving others with a free and loving heart, regardless of how they really want to do that they're still feeling out, because there is that free and loving heart opportunity for them while they discover happiness, allowing themselves to be content exactly as they are right now. Because you can't step in the same river twice. Zen cone. That in their career, that they can really embrace their capacity to envision what others, what's not even conceivable to others, and find their willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain, in the right timing, keeping it to themselves right now while this emotional storm moves through, and all they have to do is inspire others, helping others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. So in their vocation, their spiritual power, they can connect with that divine child they truly are, that innocence, purity, and redemption, and really connect with the divine in the special way that only they can, as the hermit, pulling back, going higher up, seeing it from the innocence of the divine child, not the wounded child, regardless of what burdens, blocks, exhaustions, inflammations they may be dealing with in the outside world, soothing impatience, saying to that child, my love, there is nothing to do but wait. There is nothing to do but wait. There is nothing to do but wait. And I love you, and it's okay. And your impatience may be inflaming us, but it's okay. We will get there. We are loved. We are guided. We are graced. There's nothing wrong with finding something delightful and loving that we can serve, that serves us as well. for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as I will it, so let it be done. So mote it be, and so it is. Yeah, that was good. Do 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 do. I don't know why they keep playing that in my head, but they do. Really digging this reading for you, my Virgo family. So look, if you liked it, like it. Want more? Subscribe. Drive my numbers up, will you? I don't care anymore. I had to take my eyes off the numbers because it was cramping my style, right? Cramping my vibe. But by all means, if you want to book a reading with me, it's very easy to do. Facebook Messenger, Twitter, Instagram. You can try DrawingTheCircle@gmail.com, but I have so much spam and so much of it goes there, it annoys me. So just better to reach out on social media. And by the way, check out my book, Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, $9.99 USD on Kindle. Less than a pack of cigarettes, which I'm going to go into prayer and take a little break and smoke like that much of an American spirit. Say my prayers to the mother of all and reboot myself for the Libra reading. Why? Because I am Virgo. Hear me serve. I'll show you my swerve. That's horrible meter, though a decent rhyme. Otherwise, wishing you all the very best and the very blessed in your work, career, and vocation. Clavicle. My beautiful virgins, I love you so much. Take the virgin vow. Let no one own you. Only be to the divine, yeah? Wishing all the very best and the very blessed of it all, my loves. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed day.